Hello SLR Lounge, my name is Joseph Cha, and today we're going to be taking a look at the two newest high megapixel cameras, the Canon 5DS and the Sony a7RII. Okay, let's begin. Full disclosure, I only had both these cameras for one whole day, but when I finally got them both, I took them to the happiest place on earth, Disneyland. On the left we have the a7RII, and on the right we have the 5DS. Both of these cameras have their respective native 24-70 lenses on them, the only difference being the Canon can open up to f2.8, whereas the Sony Zeiss can only do f4. But as you can see in the EXIF, I captured all comparison images at the same settings. Now, since both cameras are groundbreaking in their high-resolution technology, I thought we could start the review there. So the Sony a7RII is 42 megapixels and the Canon 5DS is 50.6. So the Canon already has 20% more megapixels than the Sony a7RII and nearly 40% more megapixels than the nearest full-frame DSLR competitor, the Nikon D810. But does that translate into a significant difference? When we look at both of these images fitted on the screen side by side, you probably can't notice a significant difference. However, at 100% crop, I have to get pretty close to my monitor to see the extra detail on the tower and on the roof shingles, but the difference is there. For most photographers, this difference isn't significant because 42 megapixels is more than enough for most photographers. But for some photographers, this difference can be monumental. There are some hotshot commercial photographers who shoot things like manly tuned racing cars and million-dollar yachts with a master bedroom and a captain. And those photographers are the ones who are looking at the extra resolution and thinking to themselves, how can I push the boundaries of this high-resolution camera? Moving on, I feel like any camera can take great photos in ideal settings, so I wanted to test unideal settings through user error. I purposely took these photos severely underexposed, and here they are straight out of camera in Lightroom. Now here we have the same images but with a +5 exposure in Lightroom. When we zoom up 1:1 or 100%, we can see just how well the a7RII maintains shadow detail. I'm seeing excellent color and noise control on the signs and on the back wall. So if you're a photographer that relies on fixing in post, then the a7RII will give you a more flexible RAW file than the 5DS. Now let's do a high ISO test at night at ISO 3200. Both these images are straight out of camera. Now, this is what the images look like with a +3.5 exposure added in Lightroom. Now with these exposures, both images get pretty grainy. But what's surprising is that the Canon 5DS is losing resolution faster than the a7RII. When we zoom in at 100% into the tree and the house, we're seeing more details from the a7RII than the 5DS. So that's pretty significant considering that the 5DS has 20% more pixels. When we look at these two camera bodies, the differences are so stark that they're clearly made for two different types of photographers. The Sony a7RII is like the Jared Leto of cameras. It is a camera that can just do everything and can look good doing it. It has 42 megapixels, 4K video, 399 autofocus points, sensor stabilization, built-in Wi-Fi, and the list goes on. Any photography discipline could find a use for the a7RII. The 5DS, on the other hand, is a bold, full-frame DSLR that has the resolution that approaches medium format territory. With 50.6 megapixels, 61 high-density reticular AF points, 5 frames per second, an extensive lens lineup, and a price tag starting at $36.99, it actually has more features and value than most medium format cameras. This camera can capture enough detail for even the most prolific commercial shooters. I'll be honest, 9 out of 10 times I will choose the Sony a7RII over the Canon 5DS. And the reason, it's just a better everyday camera. But that doesn't demerit the Canon 5DS because if you're a Canon shooter and you need that resolution, then there is no other camera for you. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this every week, then be sure to subscribe to our channel. Otherwise, if you have any questions or comments or want us to review any other gear, let us know in the comments below.